This is a first look at the X-Shot Pro Series Fury X, a new release from X-Shot. The blaster, I have already taken it out of the packaging, but the editor will include a picture somewhere on the screen, so you can take a look how it comes in the box. The blaster comes with one short dart magazine that holds 15 darts until the little sticker here. The blaster is only compatible with short darts compared to the long shot that was compatible with long darts and short darts. The blaster also comes with 40 short darts, so it's ready to use. The blaster has 2 pins, similar to the long shot, so you remove 2 screws on the other side of the blaster, 2 screws here and 2 screws there, then you can take out the front and swap the spring. On top of the blaster we find a sort of de-jamming button. When the slide is stuck halfway position, you can use this to move it again. Moving back, on the bottom there is a safety button, which you can easily operate with your middle finger. Then of course we have the trigger, then the mag release in the same position as it is on the long shot, so you can if you hold the blaster you can easily operate it with your thumb. If you're left or right, doesn't matter because it's on both sides of the blaster. Moving back, the magazine well is ever so slightly chamfered, so it is not very hard to put in a magazine. And then on the back we have the other magazine release if you want to use that. The magazine drops freely, so that's nice. To prime the blaster, it's very easy to pull this back. What's nice to see is that it's also printed under the part that you don't see when it's not primed. The blaster has a nice new look with green and pink magazine. Green, bluish, teal, I don't know. This color scheme, as far as I know, should also become available for the long shot, but is now the only color available for the Fury X. And this, the same nice printing details as we have seen on the long shot. In terms of performance, we averaged 147.5 FPS with the included actual darts, and with Worker 1 gram darts it averaged 143 FPS. A little bit lower, but it was a little bit more consistent with Worker darts. But for full FPS numbers, we have made a blog post, so check the link in the description to see the full numbers. The blaster has a sort of skinny pusher, so you can insert the magazine when the blaster is not primed, which is really handy. So let's take a close look at the internals to see what's in here. Let's take a look inside the blaster. So looking at the internals, there are a few things to note. Down here we have the safety lock, so you can fire the blaster unexpectedly. In the magazine well, we see 2 mag releases, so you can use it with both Katana and Talon magazines, with a mag release on the back here and also on the side here. On the top here we have some sort of unjamming button, which works if the blaster is stuck primed halfway. We can use that to push it back. Let's take a look at how it functions, which I can best explain by removing the spring. So I've already taken out the 2 screws that are on the other side of the blaster. So I can remove this, take out the spring, and so if you pull back the slide, the unjamming button flies out. But also normally the spring would be compressed here, and there's also the annoying ratchet, so you can't push it back. If you pull it all the way back, the catch engages, and we have the annoying rattle going back. So now the spring will be compressed, and the plunger is pulled back. If you pull the trigger, the catch disengages, so the plunger would be pushed back and the air out the barrel. If anything, if you pull back the slide, you can see that the blaster has been painted while assembled, or rather printed, because there's some paint on the barrel, which is sort of funny. Looking at the plunger tube, it was a little bit of a struggle to get it out of here of the shell. So we just used a screwdriver to pry it out. It may be easier on other examples. We will see. The mechanism is very similar to the long shot, where the plunger slides over the barrel. So there's also an O-ring inside that seals against the barrel. The barrel, we can carefully take it out. And then the plunger tube comes apart. So this is actually an oval plunger tube, which is quite a lot different compared to the long shot. It feels plenty strong, so it should be a lot better than with the X shot. Also because it's inside of the shell and not on the outside. The barrel seals in here, fairly similar to the long shot, with also an O-ring inside. And the plunge tube seals on here with another O-ring. And then the pusher also has an O-ring and a mechanism that prevents air from entering the barrel if there's no dart in there. This slides in here. So if we look at how it works, normally the plunge tube is over here. The plunger pushes the air backwards, and then it goes through here into the barrel and pushes the dart out. So this is a first look at the X-Shot Pro Series Fury X. In my opinion, it's a nice addition to the Pro Series line from X-Shot, and we see some nice improvements over the original long shot. So what do you think about this? Let us know in the comments. If you want to get this one in Europe, we have a container on the way. Currently, we're running a pre-order on the website, and it will arrive sometime mid-December. So if you want to get one, there's a link in the description.